This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net. Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
It's about comic books and movies. Growing up with Rokusuki. Superman before Zack Snyder ruined him. Michael Keaton was the best Batman, while Christian Bale was just deadpan. No one remembers the other ones. Princess Leia in bikinis and Transformer Lamborghinis. Please don't let Shia LaBeouf ever act again.
Please, God, no.
Remembering Tales from the Crypt, back when Michael Bay wrote good scripts.
He wrote
And all
scripts.
right here is no mystery, 'cause it's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas. It's the history of bad.
It's bad.
It's the history of bad.
So bad.
It's the history of bad ideas.
Podcast.
Welcome to the History of Bad Ideas podcast, episode 233. I'm Jim.
I'm Jeff.
I don't know what to do.
Say your name.
Blake.
That's Blake.
That's Blake. It's a good week this week. Jason is not here, so we have a remote broadcast, not in the Bob Studios.
Jason took the keys and left.
We're filming on location with barking dogs.
And I don't know what's the other 17 podcasts taping in the Bob Studios down the hall. I don't know what they're doing this week.
I think they all took the week off, but we're dedicated, so we actually recorded.
I thought we were going to be episode 232.5.
No, it's episode 233.
Okay.
So this week we have any up downs this week. The big up is that Jason isn't here, so we don't have to hear any ridiculous impersonations.
Some people just want to watch you well done.
Okay, we have to.
I do declare, Jason is not here.
The other, my up I have this week is softball this week on Fridays. We won again without Jason.
Yeah.
You also won without me.
And Blake.
And me. Damn it.
But my week's been pretty good. I don't really have any downs. It's been a pretty solid week.
Yeah.
What about you, Jeff?
My up this weekend, the reason I missed softball was I was in Columbus for the Origins Game Fest. And it was great. I had fun.
I was in the Columbus Convention Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just,
Very, very good. A lot of retailers there, or just mostly gaming?
they've got one area set up for the retailers, other areas set up, but it's, I think, well, obviously Gen Con's bigger as you go there every year.
Hey, we're not comparing sizes here.
But, no, it,
Oh, that's my Gen. Sorry, that's my Gen Con. Sorry. No, but seriously, you had a good time.
I had a great time. Yeah, there's a bunch of the companies, out there trying to get you to play their games and test play their games or whatnot.
Oh, that's cool.
So spent most of the time on the floor just play testing games throughout the whole convention center.
What's the funnest one you did?
Are there any games out there that we have to go out and try?
Yeah.
There is a game that I did pick up called Bunny Kingdom.
And then they told you to put it down because you tried to steal it?
Well, then they made me pay for it.
Oh,
but
okay. Bunny Kingdom.
Bunny Kingdom.
Is that based on true life stories of Hugh Hefner?
It is not.
Oh.
Although I suppose we could.
That would be an excellent game.
First one, all female players. Take your clothes off.
Yes!
Yes!
I suppose I could make different cards for the game. So.
You could. Let's play test that one next year.
All guide players, say you like to read the articles,
But I like the articles.
but never actually read an article.
I actually read it for the Shel Silverstein cartoons.
I was about to say I read the Stephen King stories, but I think that was Penthouse that published some early Stephen King.
It was like in the early 80s.
Like the Children of the Corn, I think, was originally a
And
Penthouse publication.
I always use it to search for the best hi-fi stereo advertisements.
Who are we kidding? We read them for the little cartoons,
Yeah.
the dirty Santa cartoons.
Yeah.
So Blake, you have any ups? this week?
Legion finished the
Okay.
grand finale.
Sweet.
I
I'm one
can't-
episode in.
Exactly. I can't, and I'm not allowed to talk about it because you're one episode in.
Hey, it's one more episode than Jason is.
I will say that this season 2, some of the format that they used was very entertaining. And I think the storytelling, again, was kind of original. And as usual, it was pretty mental. And I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, I get it mental because he's got
Yeah.
mental powers, but it's also crazy.
Yes.
He has mental powers?
Yes.
Kidding.
It is kind of interesting. It did take a turn that I was not expecting. But then again, I never read the graphic novels of Legion, so
So he took a left turn at Albuquerque.
could have, yes. But no, I found it pretty interesting. Is it as novel and exciting as the first season? No TV series ever is.
Yeah,
You
no.
know?
Once the first season
Yeah,
hooks you,
so-
they can't change too much, or else it's not the same series.
Yeah.
But then they're not going to be new or different.
Wait, are you saying something like Heroes didn't get better in the second season?
Oh,
Yeah.
you had to bring up Heroes.
Ah, fantastic.
Well, I could always just think about the cheerleader, Hayden Panettiere. Hey, what's happened to her, by the way?
She
After season 2 of Heroes, just downhill from there.
did Nashville.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
on that one country music show that I never watched.
Yeah, and then she married that hockey player that locked her up and kept her in his
No,
house.
she's been in Nashville for like 4 seasons.
I like my idea better.
Okay. But not Nashville, Connie Britton.
Oh, speaking of hot ladies, what's that Alexa wrestler lady that Jason keeps posting all her pictures?
Alexa Bliss.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, she won the Money in the Bank match and then cashed in that night to take the women's title.
So she's got the title?
She has the title.
Oh.
In our fantasy wrestling league, she got 290 points, which is more than I've scored for the entire year. So maybe I should start watch wrestling again.
Yeah, all you gotta do is watch. You don't need volume.
Yeah, you don't hear what anybody says.
Yeah, exactly. So that's good. Yeah, I guess those are my ups. You know what my down is?
What's your down?
How in the hell does Russia get stuck in a group for the World Cup with Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and Uruguay?
I mean, they just squeaked by.
I think it's kind of Putinish to me.
What was their? What did they do against Uruguay?
They haven't played them yet.
Okay.
They've only played Egypt and Saudi Arabia.
So their goal differential is 7 plus
the
7.
goal differential is +7, but on the human rights violations, they're up by 20.
So they're doubly winning.
Oh, wait, hold on. That was the other countries. Sorry, my bad.
What I'm looking forward to is not this World Cup, is the next World Cup in Qatar.
Yes.
So I can just watch people die because of
From
the
the heat? They're actually going to end up playing those games in the middle of the night.
Yeah, playing them in winter,
Yeah.
middle of winter over
it's
there.
Horrible.
Is it scheduled for wintertime?
Yes.
Yeah, isn't it like a combo of like Emirates and Qatar and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff? Yeah, it's in basically all the European Premier Leagues are really pissed off because it's right in the middle of their seasons. So for the first time ever, they're going to have to stop their seasons, put it on hold, and they're going to have to go play the World Cup, which just goes to show you, oil money can buy you anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
How about the 2026?
2026,
Coming to the U.S. of A. and Canada and Mexico?
and
Yes.
possibly even Hobie's home, Cincinnati, Ohio.
It's possible. We can do it on location.
Yes, one of 23. There's going to be 16 sites, and there's 23 sites out right now. So 7 of them will not get games.
I have a good feeling we will be one of them not getting games.
Yeah. Well,
We need to have a regulation-sized soccer field,
Outdoor.
outdoor,
Grass.
natural grass that can fit the crowd.
that's our stadium actually.
Our new stadium they're going to be built is going to be too small for a World
For
Cup game.
FCC, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the one named after the cheap guy that owns the Bengals.
Well, the cheap guy's father.
Cheap guy's father. Sorry.
Yeah, that one can't fit a regulation soccer field and is not natural grass.
It can.
It is natural grass.
No, AstroTurf did
It's
8
turf,
years
but
ago.
they might put
They could put.
Yeah,
but
they could put it
they
in.
do.
well, they'll have to retrofit the stadium.
They
to
already
make it-
retrofit there. They can put it in there. They already made adjustments to it.
How are they going to
Okay.
convert
Yeah.
the football field to metrics?
They're not. Everything's done in yards. We won't know how many meters they actually are. It's ridiculous.
Unbelievable. But you know what? I heard that due to the NAFTA tariffs, we've already banned the 10 games in Canada and the 10 in Mexico. We're going to keep them all here in the U.S.
Ooh, very nice. I think the only reason Cincinnati has a shot is because Chicago is not bidding for games.
So someplace in the Midwest.
Someplace in the Midwest.
Well, but I also thought, what did I see? Nashville was one of them. And, I don't know.
Nashville Stadium is going to be similar size to Cincinnati's.
I think
But it's
Nashville.
their football stadium,
Yeah.
natural grass, and can fit a soccer field on it.
Well,
Yes.
Atlanta did too, but right now the Atlanta Stadium, the roof doesn't open.
Yeah. And there's a fake.
Oh, so they have to open the roof?
Yeah. And there is a fake Parthenon in Nashville, so all the European teams will feel at home.
That will do it.
Yeah.
Okay, any downs for you, Jeff?
Maybe if we build a fake Stonehenge, we can get the Northern European
But
teams
only
here.
make it about 18 inches tall?
Yes. Not, instead of feet, we'll do it in inches. That'll work.
Well, actually, hold on. Centimeters.
I think that's been done.
My down this week is apparently we're in the shopping for a new intern.
Oh, yes. We want to thank Jason for firing Rocket the intern before he went on vacation and not hiring a new one.
So we're going by the seat of our pants because we have no outline this week because our intern is gone.
No outline whatsoever. Completely winging it.
So if you have a resume, you can send it to Twitter at
Bad Ideas
Bad Ideas Podcast and ask for Jason.
Pretty much we only do our business over Twitter, so yeah.
Yes. You can do it on Facebook, History of Bad Ideas Podcast. I have no idea what the email is. Either it's Jeff or Jason because nobody checks it.
Well, we don't check it, but the email is hobiepod@gmail.com.
So you can send it there, but no one will ever look at it.
I think Jason checks every once in a while. The intern was supposed to check it. Maybe that's why he got fired.
Well, I think if that's all their up-downs, I do have a special announcement for all our fans of
Twitter polls?
Winona Earpers.
Earpers.
I will be watching the second season this week, and I'll let everybody know how great it is next week. But now, let's head on to listener feedback.
And that was our Twitter poll of the week. Who would have thunk it would have been that close?
I think they got it wrong, though.
Yeah.
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised the way people voted.
Yeah, it's
I'm
amazing.
not disagreeing, but
I think that was probably our most popular, Twitter poll of the week yet.
we had around 1,006 people vote.
That's amazing. All right. Now it's time for our bomb listener feedback. Sponsored by me.
You're sponsoring this week.
Yes, we start off this week with this guy named Doug,
Ape hands.
Can't give yourself a nickname.
formerly known as. Yeah, he says studies have been shown that the right amount of Blake leads to increased testosterone and increased sex drive. How much is too much, and what is the correct dosage?
I think Blake once a week is the correct dosage.
1 week. 1 week, and that's the limit. Don't go over. It's too dangerous.
I don't know. I feel danger when we play softball and Blake's there, and I'm like, whoa, podcasting and softball.
I think 2 Blake a week is about max.
Yeah, especially when you see me wield my bat in the batter's box. It's pretty dangerous. And
Especially when you flash that left.
It's Gen Con.
Put that Gen Con away.
And Doug says he is petitioning Disney to add a new Hobie Blakeland. It'd be inside Adventureland.
All right. So you have to go in Adventureland to get to Blakeland?
Yes.
So is it going to be run by Blake Bot?
Yes, actually, you're met by Blake Bot.
Oh!
Sold.
There you go.
I'm sold on it.
All right, next one. We got Big Dev. The Psy Guy. He says, we were going to do a shot of history about Blake, but then realized we needed a Stein. Hey, this one coming from our friends, 365 Flicks.
Good day, mate.
Hello, Wankers.
Yeah, cheeky cunt.
Hello, Vega. He says Scarlett and Ruby are starting their own podcast. It's going to be called 365 Blakes.
Oh!
Ooh.
It is going to be sophisticated.
Or I think it's going to be a lot of arguing.
And she's going to translate all of my copy into British.
Really? How does she do that?
I don't know.
I think people just want to watch the world burn.
Still better than Brigger impersonations.
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
I do declare. Oh, wait, it still sounded like Brigger. Damn it. I couldn't get it the British version out. This one, Besotted Geek. Besotted Geek says, Blake's a real
Asset?
I think he meant A+.
Oh.
I can't read the rest of it.
You ripped it.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
All right, this one from El Heno at Ida Heno says, one word, Blake Boner.
I think that was a 2-year-old listener feedback.
No, it's current because it says P.S. Fuck Trump.
Ah! Well, then it must be current.
It's going to be 2 years. He could have just announced his candidacy.
That's
So,
right.
wait, hold on.
Yes.
I don't want to interrupt, but does that mean he wants us to fuck Trump with a Blake Boner?
Oh. I don't wish that upon.
know.
I don't wish upon a Blake Boner.
Ooh. I don't know. I'm scared now.
That's dangerously treading into Nick Albright question territory.
Oh, speaking of Nick Albright.
Oh, nice segue.
Nick Albright says, Blake.
What do you think about that one, Jeff?
I think I have to disagree with that one. I can't support that one.
So you think you have to swing and a miss for Nick right there?
Yes, I think it's, I don't know, going in the wrong direction that I'm used to.
All right. Well, you know what? If there's a person that put us in the right direction, it's our most educated listener.
Des?
Dez. That's right. Dez. He just basically says, Blake is my Socrates to my Plato.
Okay. So he's saying you are teaching him. That's brilliant.
Oh, I just thought I had really good Play-Doh sculptures.
Oh, Play-Doh.
It was Play-Doh, not Play-Doh.
Oh,
yeah.
I misheard. I'm sorry.
You know what? It's okay to mishear because I think he was influenced by Meow God. And Meow God, as we all know, is on a different plane.
The higher plane of existence.
That's right. He just says, it says right here, it says, Blake is my demigod.
All right.
I'm not making this shit up, man. This is listener feedback. This is what people sent me.
You received all this on your Twitter, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's
It's
what
on my Twitter account. Which is
at BlakeBot.
Actually, speaking of Twitter accounts, Graphic Novice wrote in.
Oh,
wow. We
Graphic
haven't heard
Novice.
from Graphic Novice in forever.
That's right. Graphic Novice said, never received one Blake complaint.
And they get all our complaints.
Yes.
That's right.
Although he did say they were running behind on our complaints.
Oh. Well, so far. Yet. And if you have any complaints, send it to
Graphic Novice.
Graphic Novice. Hey, you know what? We have some corrections. This one comes in from Cousin Pam.
All right.
She says, I have listened to all Hobie episodes.
She has?
She has. She says, Blake is right.
Well, where's the correction? Just an agreement, huh?
I guess I was, yeah. Blake is right.
Oh, wait, she was probably correcting Jason when he said you were wrong.
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Probably, yes.
That's what it was.
I believe it was, too.
I wanted to say this out to Cousin Pam. I hope she has a
Yes.
speedy recovery. And probably when she sent that tweet, she was probably on a bunch of pain medication.
Opioids?
Yes.
I don't think so. I think this is authentic.
I think she was doped off her ass.
Hey, speaking of Morris's, Jeff Morris says, hey, when I do listen to the podcast,
Which is when he's on.
I've decided I'm going to write a book called Blake versus the Zombies on the Titanic. And maybe I'll win a floppy this year.
No. I mean, it'll be a great book if it has Blake in it. But I still don't think it can win a floppy.
I don't know if I like the robots versus zombies plot line.
But it's on the Titanic.
Okay. Robots versus zombies on the Titanic.
Versus Blake bots.
Or what if the robots and zombies are on the same side? Kind of like in Smash Up or something.
And they're killing all the humans? Yeah. Oh, I might watch that.
I think we're going somewhere. I think we've got it. Okay.
All right, Scab Jeff, you can write that one.
All right, Scab Jeff, write it. You may get a floppy. I may even try to sneak in your own category so that maybe only you win. You know, we'll see what happens. Eventually. Oh, I just got a text. It's from Dr. Number One at Dr. Number One.
Uh-oh.
This listener feedback about Blake is bullshit. Oh shit, he's in
What?
the window.
We're on the second floor,
And we're not even. This is an
dozens of miles away from the.
This is an undisclosed location.
I swear, Jason sent this to me. I swear.
So now Dr. Number One is stalking one of you guys.
I don't know.
I always check behind to make sure I'm not being stalked.
I think you're gonna have to walk me out to the car.
I got golf clubs. So I'll swing.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. You golf somewhere near the Bob Studios. He was probably following
We
you.
can use this mace and this axe sitting here on the table.
He does have a hand mace and a hand axe on a table here. These are Dungeons and Dragons accessories. But you could really kill people with this.
Oh, yeah, they're real.
Oh my gosh.
You were ready for Dr. Number One to show up.
I told you I watch behind me. I keep track of that stuff.
Well, that's our listener feedback.
That was great. Now, everybody let us know who you think won that draft day today. Just tweet at Hobie and let us know who had the best draft day. Now it's time for some news of the geek.
Ooh.
We have a story we've been sitting on that Jason won't let us do because it's Dungeons and Dragons related.
He kept delaying it week after week.
It's been on the outline for, 8 months now?
At least 8 weeks.
So we have Joe Manganiello.
Manganello.
Okay. Dungeons and Dragons isn't a weird game for nerds. It's a creative outlet for people like me. There are a few reasons that I think there's been a surge of interest in Dungeons & Dragons the last few years. The cultural icons of my generations, and I'm now in my 40s, have all become nostalgic. For example, if you look at Stranger Things, you'll see all the movie posters that my generation had on walls, all the games we played, and even the bikes we rode, in addition to the characters playing the game. I also think that there's been a return to analog for young generation. Just look at the number of kids that are buying vinyl records. There's a purity to it. And I think the game is part of a movement away from the isolation of computers and mobile devices. People want to get together on Friday or Saturday night with their friends around the table and be social and play a social game rather than staring at their phones and netting 0 for the next 5 hours. Growing up in the 80s, anything that didn't look like it belonged on a yacht party was considered satanic or weird. For some reason, it was just socially acceptable to just completely crap on other people who played Dungeons and Dragons.
Yacht party?
Yacht parties.
Yacht parties.
I'm pretty sure Brigger was on those yacht parties.
No, Burger was on yak parties.
Yeah, yacht.
Yacht
parties.
parties. Yeah, you know, my wife still asks me about the whole satanic thing with Dungeons and Dragons.
It's not there.
It's not
Never
there.
was.
You know, but then I do tell her, you know, I do play demons and devils. Why would you do that? So the good guys can kill them.
Somebody's got to do
Somebody's got to do it.
You can get into fights. Kids would gang up on you because of it. You never wanted to say you played the game. It just wasn't cool.
Well, I wasn't cool, so I said I did.
I didn't give a crap if I played it or not, or people called me cool or not.
So we played it at lunch when I was in 6th grade.
I would have, but
We got
I was
suspended.
so uncool, I wasn't allowed to. I asked, can I play? They said no.
No.
He wasn't even cool enough to hang around the nerds.
No. Me and Pat Rothfuss.
I'm glad that the stigma's been erased, and I have consciously tried to play a part in that being open, and that I love the game and have fun playing it. Because what's somebody going to do? Are they going to say, if you play Dungeons & Dragons, you're going to end up like that guy? Okay, sure. What's wrong with Joe Manganiello's life? God, if I play Dungeons & Dragons, I can turn out more like Joe Manganiello?
Yeah.
And Vin Diesel.
Oh.
Exactly.
And other famous
Will
people.
Wheaton?
Well, that might not be a good
No.
example.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Does Chris Hardwick play? Because we don't want that.
He does play, but...
I hear he plays a real good barbarian.
Too
Sorry.
soon?
Too soon?
I will probably see him at Roy Moore's sex traffic court.
You may see him, yes.
I don't know. I'm not sure if everything said on that one is accurate or... Well, one, there's not a whole lot being said, just something happened.
Yeah. Well, at least we don't have to hear Kevin Spacey right now.
Hey, man, why are you bringing down...
Oh, shut up!
Come on, thanks, man! I play Dungeons and Dragons in there!
Well, no dragons.
Kevin Spacey's Dungeon Night. Well, that's his new show.
It's full of halflings!
Wait, Jason wouldn't know what halflings are.
No.
Anyway. Why are we bringing down a good story? Come on, keep reading.
Okay, as he says, all my friends play. All these huge directors, comedians, actors, we all play. My trainer of the past 8 years, who's a CrossFit champion, 6'2", 245 pounds of solid muscle, is the most hardcore encyclopedia of fantasy novel information you'll ever find. There's a ton of us in LA who all get together and play the way we did as kids when we were first creating character backstories and writing episodic adventure series.
Episodic.
I'm sorry, Jason would have. I'm sorry, Jason.
Oh, yeah, no.
butchered that word.
Episodial.
Episodium.
Yeah. So there's two aspects to the game that really appeal to people. One is the role play aspect, which is your character's background and how you play the character. If you watch shows like Critical Role, for instance, you're watching really expert voice actors breathe life into those characters.
Some people just watch the world burn.
No, they have...
Could I be a Trent? I want to be a walking tree.
Trent.
No,
Nice.
they actually have good voice actors on Critical Role. I don't think Jason would qualify.
The other side of it, which is more akin to Dungeons & Dragons we grew up with, is the math and probability side of it.
Oh, we know he's out.
Or the craps table gambling side of it, if you will.
It's more the gambling violence, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me personally, I was really a math-oriented kid growing up who was also very into the arts and was an artist. Dungeons & Dragons just lights up both sides of my brain. So I've got a few characters, and I've played one of them in Critical Role in the web series Force Grey. He looks like a dragon on 2 legs. Basically, it's called Dragonborn. Yeah, we all know what that is, so we don't have to explain.
Is it Game of Thrones?
Yes. And he says, I now work as a consultant for Dungeons & Dragons, which is the job that I wanted as a kid.
It's
and
awesome.
as a result of that relationship, I wrote some material for their adventure module that will be released next year. Well, maybe it's this year, because this has been on...
Yeah. They actually just had a big, or they are releasing a big thing, and crap, I forgot what it was called.
And plus, the game is how he got cast in the latest movie, Rampage.
Oh, God.
Oh, I didn't know he was
I
in
knew there was a
Rampage.
negative side to the story.
I had written a script for Dungeons & Dragons movie when the rights were at Warner Brothers, where Brad Payton was looking to direct another version of a movie about the game. We got on the phone and exchanged notes about our separate versions and got talking about how much we love the game. Then Brad mentioned that he was looking to cast a part in the other movie, which was Rampage. Ugh. He's still hopeful about the movie. The special effects are good enough that we can bring dragons to life, where they used to look questionable before. And the fantasy genre is a big, ungentrified territory in terms of sci-fi and big-budget films. Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones already got the industry moving in that direction, plus many of the directors, writers, actors, and producers, we all worked our creative muscles out for the first time playing Dungeons & Dragons. I think it's definitely time.
Can I get a Dragonlance, please?
Apparently no.
Apparently not.
They're probably going to do stuff about Drizzt and the R.A. Salvatore.
You know, they probably would do very well with
Do you
that,
think
actually.
they're going to do like a movie or a TV show?
I think a
You
TV
think
show would be better with that.
Yeah, that's the thing, is most of these are better for a
long
series.
episode series. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, oh yeah, at least
Especially, you know, like a 10-episode season type thing versus, you know, a 2-hour movie you can get into a long, but obviously you don't want to drag it out 24-episode season.
Well, you know, they can Peter Jackson it.
They can.
Which way? You mean you take a movie, a book that you could make 6 movies out, make 3, or take a book that's meant to be like kind of a short, like prelude, and turn it into 3?
Well, see, enough material to make 6 movies but make 3, or enough material to make 1 movie but make 3.
And I think you're...
So Peter Jackson's just the trilogy maker.
yeah,
Yes.
see. And you're teasing this week's top 5.
Yes.
Bum, bum, bum.
What will it be?
The other thing is, or is he going to make an entire trilogy about metachlorians?
Ooh.
Since what the report was that Lucas's original plan for the next 3 movies were pretty much...
It was about
Yes,
what he
on the-
called the wills.
Yes, it was on the microscopic level.
Yes. These...
It's basically about these germs
Pretty
that are
much,
self-determinating.
I'm like, how can you watch a movie about that?
I have no idea.
Or 3.
I don't know. Was he stoned when he was giving this interview? I have no idea.
Well, he was a child of the 60s, so probably.
He's dropping some THX.
Okay, well that's all we have for the news of the geek.
That's true. You know what I'm going to do? I've just decided I am going to stalk Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman, and all I'm going to do is yell at them, "When are we going to get some Dragonlance?"
and they're going to say, it's not up to us, no one wants to buy it.
Well, they have done the animated and the voice acting, but it sucked. It was horrible.
You complained about that before.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, doing that. Now, our next, we're going to bring back the great segment, The Boardroom.
So that was plot lines. If you have something you want us to try and figure out, send it to us at History of Bad Ideas Podcast. Now we are on to box office bombs.
Box office bombs.
There really wasn't any because The Incredibles just blanketed the box office with glorious something.
Did anybody see it?
No.
I didn't.
No. I want to.
Sure.
But it did $182.5 million in its opening weekend. Number 2, Ocean's 8 did another $19 million, a total of $78.5 million.
Don't check our math.
Number 3, Tag did almost $15 million in its opening weekend.
I know some people who saw that. They found it interesting. They found it amusing.
Based on a true story.
Loosely, but yes.
Yeah. Solo, a Star Wars story, came in at number 4 with another $10 million, a total of $193.5 million.
On a budget?
$16. Oh, wait, that's the wrong line. They didn't give me their budget. Tag had a $28 million budget.
Solo had a $250 million budget.
Oh, okay.
That they admit to.
Yeah, then another $280 million in advertising.
And finishing out the top 5 this week is Deadpool 2.
What'd they do?
They did $8.5 million
On
a total $110 million budget, a total of $294.5 million.
Nice.
So go Deadpool 2. Oh, I didn't realize Superfly came out this week.
We didn't even talk about it last week.
No.
I only saw a headline that said they didn't like Superfly. It was like the wrong tone or something like that. I have no idea.
But, oh, yeah, okay. Well, this is Box Office Bombs. I forgot I did want to mention this one. There was a movie that was filmed here in town in Cincinnati that was released this week.
Yep.
Gotti with John Travolta. It made less than $2 million.
I remember now.
And had a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, very nice. Bringing all the good filmmakers to Cincinnati.
Yes.
When's Uwe Boll coming?
I mean, that didn't even make the top 10. I would love for Uwe Boll to be here.
Just remember, people that are complaining about the demise of Ocean's 8 due to critics, male critics, just remember, Travolta's Gotti did worse.
Wait, can we get the Cincinnati Film Board to give money to Uwe Boll since Germany is no longer doing it?
Yeah, I don't think that they can give tax breaks. I don't think they give money.
We'll just pretend it's for another streetcar.
Okay, that would work.
We'll call the movie Streetcar.
Perfect.
That's great.
And maybe the streetcar can actually do something by being in a movie,
And we can get
as opposed to
Yeah.
people just watch it go around because apparently one person rides it, according to Jason.
maybe we can get the Dit Man a screenwriting credit.
Oh, I think he will get the screenwriter. Yeah. He would love to be associated with that project. Oh, let's see. Oh, yeah, I got to check what's coming out this week. We have coming out Friday, the 22nd of June, some little movie called Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Ooh,
Anybody know anything about that?
Sounds like a mashup.
Oh, that's like a video game, huh?
Yeah.
It's 4 years, or when the island's dormant volcano begins roaring to life, Owen and Claire mount a campaign to rescue the remaining dinosaurs from the extinction level event.
All right. And then, wow. Other thing, there are a bunch of other independent movies coming out, but I don't think I heard of any of these. We got Boundaries from Sony Classics.
Oh, let's see what that one's about. It would be Laura and her son Henry are forced to drive her estranged, pot-dealing, carefree father Jack across country after being kicked out of a nursing home.
All right. Damsel from Magnolia Pictures. Apparently it's a drama.
That's with Robert Pattinson.
Must be good.
In the Wild West, circa 1870, Samuel Alabaster, an affluent pioneer, ventures across the American frontier to marry the love of his life, Penelope.
And gets typhoid fever and dies.
As his group traverses the West, the one simple journey grows treacherous,
and loses all his supplies.
Loses a wheel!
blurring the lines between hero, villain, and damsel.
Incident in a Ghost Land. from Vertical Entertainment. Ooh. I like my entertainment more horizontal.
I like mine more erect.
Oh, see, they don't
You know,
even...
vertical. Get it?
Yeah, there's not even a...
That's not even there.
Oh,
It's
there
not
it
even
is.
IMDb?
It's just Ghostland.
Ghostland.
Oh,
The story follows a mother of two who inherits a home from her aunt. On the first night in their new home, she's confronted with murderous intruders and fights for her daughter's lives. 16 years later, when the daughters reunite the house, things get really strange.
all right. The King from Oscilloscope Pictures. It's a documentary.
We don't need to worry about that one now.
Yeah, the other one's also
Yeah.
a documentary.
Okay.
Spiral from Cohen Media Group.
We're not interested in non-fiction.
Yeah.
Screw that.
Uh,
The only time that's good is when you watch it on Netflix.
Well, some of the good Netflix documentaries are pretty good.
especially the fake ones.
Buy, sell.
Ooh.
Oh,
The stock of Craig T. Nelson.
oh, how
I
much?
have absolutely no clue.
It's $34.59 as compared to John Travolta at $55.
Sure.
I will take Craig T. Nelson and sell John Travolta.
Why? You don't think Gotti's going to do anything?
It might come back.
After our reference on the podcast this week, its sales are bound to go up.
It'll like double its sales.
Yeah.
4 people will go?
Yes.
Oh.
Jeff, what are you doing September 14th through 16th?
I'm going to be at the Cincinnati Comic Expo.
Wow, so am I. Do you know who else is going to be there?
Clark Gregg.
Clark Gregg will be, and so will Johnny Desjardins. He is works on Marvel Ultimatum. He went to work with Dynamite Entertainment to work on Red Sonja, RoboCop, Kato, and the Green Hornet, Grimm Fairy Tales, Wonder Woman, and more.
All right, excellent.
Yes.
So he'll be joining us with Nikolai Coster-Waldau,
Yes.
LeVar Burton,
Yes.
and Peter Mayhew,
Chewbacca himself.
Summer Glau.
Summer Glau.
Yes. That might make up for the sting of the next announcement.
Due to filming schedule, as she says, Colby Smulders is unable to attend the 2018 Cincinnati Comic Expo. Do you know anything about that, Blake?
I sent her some pictures of myself.
Now we got to check the Stalker sites, see what's mentioned.
Damn.
Don't tell me you're going to be on Roy
Hold on a
Moore's
second.
sex traffic court.
Don't go to the dark web.
But her How I Met Your Mother co-star Billy Zabka will be there.
All right.
Oh.
Heard those gents over at 365 are desperately trying to get an interview with them.
Yes, but we pretty much know that Jason will end up with that interview, or he'll be arrested.
Or
for
one of the
stalking.
two. He's
Yeah.
going to get one of them done. If he doesn't get the interview, it's because he's arrested.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you know what? 365 Flicks just send their news correspondent, Scarlett.
Yes. There'll be plenty of room in the green room.
I don't know. The green room was pretty popular last year.
Actually, you know what? They should. They should have Scarlett do all the work so those two guys could continue pounding pints.
That works. So join us at the 2018 Cincinnati Comic Expo at the Duke Energy Center.
Top 5! Boy, that's some pretty good music we got there.
Yes, thank you, Henno. We finally got your music in.
So today's top 5 are top 5 worst adapted screenplays, books to movies is what we're doing. So let's start with Blake.
Worst movies adapted from books.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I did mine more of worst adaptations. So there's probably a lot worse movies out there than the ones I say.
But you did not like their
Their
portrayal.
adaptation.
Yes.
You know,
That's fine.
You could have been, top 5 worst books adapted from movies.
I could have, but I didn't do that.
Oh, okay.
What movie was that? What book was that? Who wrote
There
that
are actually books that are written based on the movies.
The novelization of.
novelization.
I read Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Is that,
Oh,
is that your number one?
No, that was the movie then adapted by. Actually, the story's better because it's written by Terry Brooks, who did the Shoulder Shannara. He did the Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah.
And of course, there was the novelization of the movie Push by Sam. Oh, God, screwed that joke up.
Yes, you fucked that one up.
Now I'm trying to remember what the hell the name of that movie was. Precious. The novelization of Precious, based on the book Push by Sapphire.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think that was it The Office did that joke? Or
I think
something?
so.
Yeah, it was on one of those where somebody was reading the novelization of the movie based on the book.
So Blake, what's your number 5?
Almost kind of like William Golding's novelization of the
Princess-
movie
the
Princess
Princess
Bride,
Bride.
based on the actual book.
I enjoyed that.
It was. Okay. I actually Hobie number 5
Uh-oh.
because this pair goes together.
Okay.
These movies, I hated them.
Hated it.
The books are much better.
All right.
Dr. Seuss's Cat in the Hat and Grinch Stole Christmas.
That was my number 5, but they'll be together.
Oh, sweet!
My number 2 is Cat in the Hat. I didn't put Grinch on it, but it could easily go there.
Okay, so well, you can Hobie it and you can add that one in.
I'll add that one in.
Yeah, there
with
you go.
it.
There
Yeah,
you go.
there
We got them both.
Number
We
2.
paired them all
though.
together.
You
Yeah.
took my 2 out.
I took your pair of number 2s.
Or I can move that to my number 5.
Yeah, that was your number
You
5
could.
too.
You could drop
yeah,
it.
yeah,
You
that's
could drop it.
That was your number 5.
I haven't seen your number 4 yet. It could be,
Okay, so Jeff, that was your number 5. What's your number 4?
If that was my number 5, then my number 4 is The Polar Express.
Oh, I forgot all about that one. Good thing.
That movie was terrible. If Jason were here, I think he'd agree with me because we got stuck having to preview that when I worked at the theater. And we started a new saying that night.
That was
We
terrible.
were like about a third of the way through the movie, and we're like, God, this is bad. We're like, all right. We'll just, from this point on, we'll give it a new, we'll look at it with fresh eyes. We will ignore what happened from this point on. 10 minutes later, from this point on. And that point kept going and going until the end credits, and yeah.
Like
so-
a red line in Syria.
Yes! Whatever that means.
Down the hall!
Jim, you're number 4.
My number 4 would be 2012's The Great Gatsby.
Ooh.
I had the previous version of The Great Gatsby on my list.
70.
I actually
71.
preferred that version compared to this version that was actually number 3 on my list.
These are shitty books.
That's right.
You put the 2012? Or
Yes.
okay, because I hated the
Was it Redford?
Redford and
Yeah, Robert Redford.
Robert Redford and
What's her name?
Mia Farrow.
Mia Farrow. I
I
like that
hated
version.
that adaptation.
I think that was actually truer to the book than the
might have been-
hip hop
honestly-
dancers.
Well, it could have been.
In-
I never actually saw the 2012.
Oh,
version,
you didn't?
so-
Oh, my
no.
God.
Oh, it's
you
awful.
hate it worse.
Yeah, you
I
would.
probably could, but
Oh, my God.
But Mia Farrow just annoyed me so much in that movie. I'm like, wait a minute, this is supposed to be the girl with the beer flavored nipples that he's willing to die for.
Yes.
I want to kill her.
Okay. I understand.
All right, and that was only an honorable mention for me.
Woo. Man, I'm scared to see your top picks here.
I'm sure one of them will be the same as you.
Yes, but now I have to say that was actually tied for my number 3, Jim.
Okay.
So I still have my number 3
All right,
available
so you got
because
your
I had to
4.
Hobie my 3.
All right, well,
My number 3.
What's your 4 here?
Here's my number 4. Now I forgot to say that I actually had to read all these books and then
okay.
see the movies.
Yeah, but all these I pretty much
Yeah,
read the book.
I've had that was my one stickler.
I'll agree.
Yeah, I've had to read the books. All right, so that was my stickler. So of course my number 4 is, we teased it earlier in the podcast before plot lines. The Hobbit.
That was my number 3 also, not my number 1.
Wow, really?
That was not number 1, but number 3.
Holy moly!
All three of them?
All three Hobbits.
Yeah, I threw the trilogy as my number 3.
You know, if
That was my honorable mention.
there was just way too much, man. I'm telling you, way too much freelancing.
Oh, yeah.
If he would have just done The Hobbit as The Hobbit, and then did like Silmarillion, whatever the heck
Silmarillion.
it is, Silmarillion, or just did his own prequel.
Yeah,
You
just
know,
call
just
it, the
separate,
Middle
like-
Earth Chronicles or whatever you want to call
the
it.
Age of Man or the whatever the heck, the Second Age, whatever. He could have done all that stuff with Gandalf and the Witch King and Angmar and all that other kind of stuff. They could have done that separately from this. Instead, he tried to do way too much, and sometimes simpler is better.
Yeah, I didn't dislike the films per se,
Correct.
but the adaptation from the book to the movie was poorly done.
Yeah.
All right. So, what's your number 3 that you tied with?
Do you still have some movies left?
I do.
Oh, okay.
I do, too.
Did we skip you?
No,
'Cause this is my number 3. I just did my
we're
number
going to
4.
your number 3. We do snake
All right,
lists
okay.
on
My
on-
other number 3 is another classic. Truman Capote's Breakfast at Tiffany's. Now, I have to prelude this, right? I knew Truman Capote had written the book.
I thought you were going to
novella.
say you knew Truman Capote.
No, I knew Truman.
And
Truman
personally.
Capote was
He
a good friend of mine.
and you
And
sure are good.
No,
Truman
Truman
Capote. Oh,
This
Down the hall.
for all you millennials out there, look it up.
Yes. Now, Breakfast at Tiffany's, right? I love me some Breakfast at Tiffany's. The movie. And I had actually seen the movie first, as a youngin',
Yeah.
of course, and all that kind of fun stuff. And however, I remember I was in college one day and somebody said, "You ever read the novella?" And I'm like, "No, I never did." I said, "Yeah, you should read that novella." I'm like, so I started reading it and I went, "This is not Breakfast at Tiffany's." But I liked it still.
Oh.
I liked the book. However, everything, of course, in the 60s got to get watered down, blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say I would like to see a remake
Of the book.
of the book. Not a story based on the book. Kind of like what they did to all the Bonds in the 60s.
Yeah.
It's like, here's Live and Let Die. It's nothing like the book.
Well,
Yeah.
when I was,
Yeah.
I hope this isn't going to be on someone's list because I think it's a movie we liked. But I was looking this up, and there were lists or whatever. And I think one list I saw had good movies and bad movies.
Yeah.
And they said one of the good ones was Casino Royale. And I'm like, not at all the same as the book.
No, just the
Good
names,
movie.
just the title. That's it. It's like they bought the names and the title. That's it.
It's a good movie that did play cards.
You mean the most recent, the
The
Daniel
most
Craig?
recent, the Daniel Craig Casino Royale.
I enjoyed the movie. The poker scene is one of the worst scenes in a film.
Or at least they are the worst poker players playing for the highest stakes.
yes,
Ever. That's right.
I have 2 pair. There's a straight flush on the board, you idiot. What are you still in for?
Even I won't stay in for that in a $5 game.
You're not going to take my Millennium Falcon for... Oh, wait, hold on.
I still have yet to see that. Shh.
God damn. But yes, I agree.
Oh, I forgot where we were.
I don't know.
Blake just did his number
Where
3.
are we? I just did my number 3.
Jeff, what's
Yeah.
your number 3?
It was...
your 3.
Oh,
Oh,
my
you
number-
did your
Your
3.
3.
though.
Hold
No,
on.
no, I didn't do my number 3.
Oh,
See what
okay.
happens when we have no
Well,
direction?
yeah, I
See what happens when we lose our intern and Jason then doesn't hire a new one?
okay. I actually lied. I only read one of these books that I have for my number 3.
But it's a whole series?
There's 2 series. It is the Twilight series
Okay.
and the 50 Shades series, which was actually just fan fiction from Twilight.
Yes. They decided to just remove the vampires and just have it. I don't know whatever's left from that without vampires.
I tried reading 50 Shades, but I couldn't get past the first sexual encounter.
Honestly, I don't know if I've seen 25 minutes of 50 Shades in the movies. I didn't read any of the books, but it can't be any good because apparently it's worse writing and acting than the Twilight films. which I read one of those books fully through. She's not a good author.
No.
And the movies are just as bad. It's taking a bad movie and making a bad adaptation of it didn't help.
Nah, I agree, but I think making a very close adaptation of a bad book still gives you a bad movie, but it's not necessarily a bad adaptation.
Shit in, shit out.
That's what we should title this. Jason won't let us, though.
No. So, Jeff, what's your number 3?
My number 3 was the Hobbit trilogy. Yeah, that was it.
And what's your number 2?
That would make number 2. I hobied this one.
Okay.
We have the Da Vinci Code and Angels and Demons.
Okay.
Now, I enjoyed the movie.
I did not.
No.
The whatever changes they made from the book to the movie, I thought were the wrong changes. I thought Tom Hanks was not a good pick for the lead.
I didn't mind it.
And they made way too many plot changes, I think, in Angels and Demons.
Angels and Demons was worse. The movie was worse.
And
the book was better, though.
Oh, yeah.
Angels and Demons was a much better book, I thought, than the Da Vinci Code.
I agree, too.
And I think they did a worse job on it.
I'll agree with that.
But that was in my honorable mentions.
Okay. That was my number 2. Jim, what is your number 2?
My number 2, I hobied this
Number
shit.
2.
I will go...
Who's it work for?
the movie Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Willy Wonka, yeah.
No?
No?
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh.
Johnny Depp version.
Ooh, I agree.
And then Alice in Wonderland.
The Johnny Depp version?
Yes.
Oh.
Thank you, Johnny Depp,
Yes.
for giving us some bad adaptation. Johnny Depp and Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. They were both just overly done. Just kind of wrought out.
Yeah, I probably should have put Alice in Wonderland on my list. I didn't quite hate the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I at least knew what they were trying to do. I don't think he accomplished what he was setting out to do.
They're trying to make something completely separate.
Yeah, well, he was trying too hard to get away
from the
And-
iconic performances of the first one.
Which the problem was, I just did not like the Oompa Loompas.
Yeah, Deep Roy playing every Oompa Loompa.
I didn't mind his performance.
You didn't like that CGI effect?
Yeah.
And
You wanted real Oompa Loompas.
I want real Oompa Loompas, and I want them now.
I want them now, Father.
I want the world. I want the whole world.
Jeff, what's your number 2?
Number 2.
Oh, we got Blake.
Oh, I got
Yeah, you go 2, then he goes 2 and 1.
Okay, all right, sure.
All right, whatever.
Jason's
my
not here to
number
keep us
2
in
is Da
line.
Vinci Code.
Oh, Da Vinci, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I was already on my number 2.
Yeah,
So
so
we
my
did
number
your
2.
2, and
Yeah.
now we do Blake's number
Blake,
2.
your number 2.
My number 2.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah, my number 2. Catch-22.
Never read the book or saw the movie.
The book is very difficult in order to adapt because it has a spiral storyline.
I kind of hear that it's one of the hardest to adapt books.
It is very. I mean, the movie attempt that they did was a decent attempt. However, I don't think as much as I love that book and love Joseph Heller, that book cannot be made into a movie, even though they tried. And honestly, to tell you, I don't think they can. You know, I don't think anybody can.
It's
But now I
very
hear
possible.
they are. We'll see how the TV series adaptation comes out.
I haven't read the book, so I don't know. But it might be easier on television because you don't have to cut
Could
a lot
be.
of stuff.
Could be. We'll have to see, or else it'll be like more whacked out than Legion.
Could be.
Yeah,
Whacked out.
whacked out.
Jim, you're number 1.
You're number 1.
My number 1, I hobied this. I am going to go with some Stephen King.
Oh.
Hearts in Atlantis.
How
I
many-
didn't even think of Stephen King. Oh, man.
How
There are a lot of
How
them.
many Stephen Kings? I was about to say.
I could have 7 or 8
Well,
of
that's the
them.
thing. Like,
Yes.
the thing
You
first
could
ones
have
that
really
pop-
hobied the shit out
Well,
of
the
this
first
one.
ones that pop in your mind are the good movies.
Yeah.
I didn't even think
yes.
of the bad movies.
Yeah, I'm really upset at myself now.
I'm doing Hearts in Atlantis, and then I'm going to do The Dark Tower.
Yeah,
Oh,
people
yeah.
didn't like the Dark
Dark
Tower.
Tower.
The Dark Tower. It shouldn't be a. That's taking the exact opposite of
Yeah.
Peter Jackson. You have
A 7-book.
7 books, which you could make 14 movies out of, and you put it into a half-ass one movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That should be a series.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's
what
so
was
many
the new-
great characters in that entire series that all they did was take
They pretty much took like the introduction.
Roland and the Man in Black,
Yeah.
and
then they went to the end.
yeah,
And they skipped like everything that happened in the middle.
everything. Yeah, the drawing of the 3. I mean, it just Wolves of Kala, Wizards
Yeah.
of Glass.
Because that's the thing, when I went to see the movie, I just thought it was supposed to be the first book.
That's what I thought too.
And then we watch it and you're like, what the fuck was that? Whoa, God, what was that Stephen King adaptation that I hated so much?
Maximum Overdrive.
No, that was screenplay. He wrote the screenplay
Yeah.
that wasn't based on a book.
Christine,
I never actually saw the movie.
Pet Cemetery.
That wasn't a bad movie. And I never read the book. But no,
One of the Carries.
no.
Carrie? No?
The one where Donnie Wahlberg played Dummets. Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher.
That was a terrible movie.
That's not one of my favorite of his books, though.
Yeah, but it was such a bad movie. Hey, I'm getting a tweet.
Hearts in Atlantis. Actually, I love the novel, and pretty much it's broken into 2 parts. It's kind of the storyline that they did in the movie, and then the second storyline kind of is the supernatural element of it. It kind of ties a lot of the Stephen King universe together on characters. You'll draw like The Stand.
So does that make it hard to adapt to a movie if you're not bringing in drawing all these people
Langoliers.
Yeah, Langoliers, yeah. But it actually does make it hard to do.
Yeah.
They just completely avoided it.
Yeah.
So-
Is that why you thought the adaptation was bad?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, again, you can do a whole lot more with it. And then, again, I haven't seen the most recent It. I mean, the made-for-TV version was pretty crappy.
Yeah, it was. I never understood why people thought that was so great. Other than, I mean, obviously, Tim Curry always gives good performances.
Tim Curry was great in it. And
That's right. Tim Curry always gives good Tim Curry.
That's it.
let's see other... then probably you have the good ones then. The one with the writer...
Misery.
was fantastic.
A lot of people love The Shining.
The Shining.
Shining,
Except for Stephen King.
yes,
Yeah.
The Mist. I loved. People hated it, but I loved that.
Yeah, Stephen King loved it.
Uh huh.
That's the one thing he said. I wished I thought of that ending. Green Mile. What's your opinion on that?
I
Good
love the Green Mile.
adaptation?
That was a great adaptation.
Shawshank Redemption. What's your opinion on that?
That's one of the top 5 movies ever made. So that's how I stand on that one. So, Jeff, your number 1?
That's right.
My number 1 was not the Hobbit trilogy because that was my number 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That makes number 1 for me. Queen of the Damned.
Okay. Anne Rice?
Yeah, Anne Rice. The 3rd book in her Vampire Chronicles was the 2nd movie to be made.
That's weird. It's out of order.
It is. They didn't make a Vampire Lestat. They just kind of glossed over the plot of that at the beginning of Queen of the Damned and went into it.
But the soundtrack was awesome.
Love the soundtrack. I listen to that to this day. I think that's what's in my car CD player because I still have one of those. I almost said cassette player.
Cassette
but no,
player,
I don't
that's
have
right.
one of those. But even though Interview with the Vampire wasn't a great movie, it still wasn't terrible. And you had a young Kirsten Dunst just to piss off Jason.
Ooh. He loves that snaggletooth. That's his favorite part about her.
But Queen of the Damned was pretty bad, and it's a shame that was like pretty much the last thing that Aaliyah is known to have done. Was be in that movie. That's not a way to. It's not a way to remember anybody as. I mean, that's like saying I remember Orson Welles because he was in his last movie role was in the Transformers cartoon movie in the 80s. Oh, but that was my number one.
Number one. All right, my number one is to finish our top fives here for the evening. At least the ones that we submitted. We still have some listener submissions. My number one was J.D. Salinger's Catcher in the Rye.
I didn't see the movie.
And you never will, because they shouldn't make a movie out of that book, because they're going to fuck it up.
Yeah, they didn't make a movie.
They didn't make a movie, and I'm happy.
Okay.
So it's that person that wrote that screenplay and then got shot down by everybody.
Thank God.
How'd the boardroom in that go? We got this screenplay.
Shut up!
No, but it's Catcher in the Rye.
Shut up!
Because there's this kid walking around New York. He wants to get a hooker.
Got any phonies?
You know what? That's what it'll turn into.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? That's exactly what it'll turn into when Hollywood gets her grubby mitts all over it.
Thanks for bringing up the boardroom again tonight, Jeff.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so, you know what? We got some submissions here from our listeners.
Wait, did we have any honorable mentions first?
Oh, yeah, honorable mentions. Go ahead.
I got Ready Player One.
Chris Bednar sent that in.
Yeah.
That was his number one. Dr. Bednar.
Let's see. I mentioned Great Gatsby. The Scarlet Letter. The Demi Moore version.
Yeah, that was atrocious. The book was
bad. Yeah.
I had The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's a book that can't be adapted.
Yeah.
I mean, the humor from that book comes from the text, not from the action going on. And for Jason's dismay, The Time Machine from 2002 or whatever year it was with Guy Pearce.
That's Jason's number one. He sent it in to us.
It's right here. Oh, yeah, listeners, Nikki at Pumazili. Actually, she had an interview with a vampire.
Oh.
Did she?
Yes, she did. Yeah. Anybody else?
No, that's all I have.
That was it.
That's it.
Well, if you're listening and say, hey, you didn't cover these movies, let us know at Bad Ideas Podcast. And if you didn't like our choices and want to complain to at Graphic Novice. But I suppose that will end the show. Do we have a bad idea this week?
Yes, bad idea number 412. Doing a podcast with zero preparation.
I still blame the intern.
Somebody says bye.
Oh, yeah. And Roger says goodbye.
Goodbye.
From Walking Dead to Talking Heads, from comic books to TV sets, there's a history of not so bad. There's the history. It's the history of bad, so bad. The history of bad, it's bad. History of bad ideas. Podcast.
Addendum.
You've been listening to Hobie.